Hi, it's Rebecca Trevelise with Music Game Club, and I just wanted to share a few thoughts I had about breaking free from curriculum constraints with fun music games. So, a lot of times, method books and curriculum out there, sometimes there is a specific game that, say, the composer created. Sometimes not. Sometimes there are other outside creators that use the curriculum, so they create certain games for that method. But a lot of times I will ask students who are going through, certain curriculum that I really love to use in the studio. I use games throughout their journey. So they're used to the Music Game Club games. Usually the month before, leading up to a release of a game, usually I'm playing it with all of the students in the studio. So we're testing it out on the very youngest students, we're testing it out on teens, we're testing it out on students who already understand the concept, and we're testing it out on students who have never, ever, ever seen the concept before. For me, it really brings a lot of variety to the lessons. And I would encourage you to do this every now and then. Don't pick a game out and just ask your students, hey, what game do you want to play? We've got 5 minutes, or we've got 10 minutes. Or maybe ask them the lesson at the end of the lesson, say, hey, next week, it's your choice, it's student's choice. What game would you like to play? And it's always so interesting to me what students really want to play. A lot of it has to do with sometimes their personality, but sometimes it's just a really fun game. Like, even if it's a harder concept, they just really, really love the gameplay. So that's always great feedback for me as the developer, but also it's going to be great for you as a studio owner because it will clue you in on what's popular in your studio. What are your students really loving? And then maybe buy more games that are like that style and see if those are also big hits. Because that's what I'm finding out, that sometimes I think a game is fun, but then students just go crazy over it. It's like, wow, I did not expect it to be that popular. So obviously, challenging theory lessons can always be supplemented with a really fun music game. It keeps students engaged, and it really helps the retention of that concept. We provide a lot of guides for the teacher and for the students for our games, so you can use that as a reference, and it just visually helps the student remember what the concept is, or what the formula is, or what it actually looks like to count from, one note to the next, or one piano key to the next. So utilize those guides, and it just really, I think, helps students look forward to playing games. And you can break free from your curriculum. Feel free to teach something much sooner than what your curriculum dictates. I have found that that's super helpful in our studio. If students learn things much sooner in their journey by playing a music theory game, once they are really ready for their hands to really get into that concept, or they're finally seeing it in their more advanced music, then it's like, oh, I already know this. I already know what a diminished chord is because I learned it when I was, 5. And now that they're 9 or 10 and they come across it in their music, it's like, oh, look, remember? So it's kind of putting it into practice. So feel free to kind of break free and use music theory games very, very freely in the studio. In fact, one of the things that I'm doing this year is I will have studio game days where I'll open the studio, and the students will be able to come, and for a couple hours they'll just be able to play music theory games with their friends. So I'd love to hear what you do in your studio to kind of break free from maybe curriculum or music theory constraints that you've had in the past, or maybe that were modeled to you. How do you break free from that, and what do you do for fun?